Music has long been used as a way to protest. Throughout world history, there are many examples of tyrants who oppress their people in many countries. In 1924, a man named Joseph Stalin took power in Russia after the previous dictator Vladimir Lenin had died. Stalin started a secret police force that would ignite fear and complacency amongst the people of Russia for many years. If you spoke out against his reign, Stalin would have his secret police force remove you from your home and ship you to Siberia. However, an important part of Stalin's regime was promoting Russian art, music, and culture, and a talented composer named Dmitri Shostakovich was one of his composers that he had recruited at the time. Shostakovich would compose music for Stalin, but unbeknownst to Stalin, he would use his music as a way to protest Stalin's oppressive regime. Shostakovich was born in St. Petersburg, Russia in 1906. He started to play the piano and compose music at the age of 9. When he was 13, he attended the Petrograd Conservatory of Music. There, he was taught by Russia's greatest composers and premiered his first symphony at the age of 19 for his graduation. Not long after graduating, he was recruited by Joseph Stalin to compose music for his propaganda films. Stalin ordered all of his composers in his service to compose music that would glorify the history of Russian culture. In 1934, Shostakovich composed his first opera, Lady Macbeth. The opera was very popular with the people of Russia for nearly 2 years. However, when Stalin decided to go see a showing of Lady Macbeth in 1936, he immediately had the production shut down. The next day, he wrote an editorial in the Russian government-controlled newspaper denouncing Lady Macbeth and Shostakovich. Fearing exile to Siberia, Shostakovich wrote a response to Stalin, apologizing and reassuring his commitment to Russia. However, Stalin placed Shostakovich on his watch list. This led to Shostakovich's Fourth Symphony to be banned from premiering. With Shostakovich's Fourth Symphony banned, he became fed up and frustrated with Stalin. To vent his frustrations and protest Stalin, Shostakovich wrote his Fifth Symphony. This piece was written to inspire hope to the people of Russia, and among the citizens, the symphony was known as the Moving of the People. However, Stalin thought he had finally gained control over Shostakovich, but was unaware that it was actually a protest to his regime. This was a triumph over tyranny, and the Fifth Symphony gave the people of Russia hope. During World War II, Russia was fighting both Germany on the western border and Japan in the Pacific Ocean. As Russia was taking heavy casualties, especially during the Battle of Leningrad, the people of Russia were losing hope. Shostakovich wrote his Seventh Symphony to honor the fallen soldiers of Leningrad. While Shostakovich was against his government's oppression, he was a committed patriot to the people of Russia. Shostakovich wrote his music to inspire the people. Inspire means to urge someone to feel a certain way. Shostakovich wrote his music to have the people feel hope. After World War II, American influences were coming to Russia. Shostakovich was accused of being a formalist who was part of the American influence, and his music was banned. Things came to a head in 1949 and was forced to give a speech in front of the World Peace Conference in New York. He was publicly humiliated during the event, and his daughter, after he returned to Russia, had received another death threat. So, Shostakovich decided to confront Stalin himself. Shostakovich spoke with the dictator on the phone for over 2 hours. The next day, Stalin lifted all bans on his works, and he was made deputy in the Supreme Soviet of the Russian Federation. Shostakovich did this only to protect his children. In 1953, Stalin passed away, and Shostakovich was given a lot of creative control over his compositions. His first work was his 10th Symphony, and his second movement was an indictment to the dictator and tyrant Stalin was. He also wrote his second piano concerto, which was later used to tell the story of the one-legged tin soldier for Disney's Fantasia 2000. He also began touring other parts of the world. However, he suffered a massive heart attack in 1960. But he continued to compose until he passed away from lung cancer in 1975. His legacy proved that no matter the obstacle, music can always inspire hope to the people.